than get to the promised land without your presence. I'd rather stay here in this desperation, in this place where there truly is nothing, where the enemy surrounds us. I'd rather stay right here in this wilderness than in that promised land without you. There is nothing in this world worth trading his presence for. What have you traded his presence for tonight? What have you traded his presence for? Is it a relationship? Maybe a job, a position that you really, really thought you needed to have? Maybe a friendship. Again, your comfortable lifestyle. Maybe you've traded his presence for a couple drinks every now and then. Maybe you've traded his presence for a little gossip chat with your friends. Yikes. You realize if we would avail ourselves to the presence of God, the Spirit of God, he wants to be involved in every aspect of your life, in every conversation. At home when you're alone, you realize you can have the presence of God. What have you traded it for? What have you given it up for? Think about it. Moses said, we'd rather stay in this wilderness than make it to the promised land without the presence of God. He knew in our own devices, left to ourselves, our own thoughts, our own ways, we will not make it. And the truth stands today. Left to our own devices, we will not make it. Doesn't matter how you feel or what you see ahead that looks really good. Without God, the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side. You know how you get green grass? Water yours. Get in his word.
Amen.
Get in his presence.
Woo, yes.
Get in his presence where he can change your situation, where he can water your dry ground that you think is so terrible. Get in his presence. His presence can change things. And you know, we talk about the presence of God, and it is this wonderful thing, but you better be ready when you welcome the presence of God. It's not just to come and comfort you, while he will. It's not just to come and make you feel good, even though sometimes it will. He's going to come and step on your toes a little bit. He's going to come in and he's going to tell you you're going to have to lay some things down. He's going to come in and tell you there's some things about yourself that you're going to have to change. If you want to be in the presence of God, you're going to have to change. There's going to be something about you that's going to have to change.
Yes.
I know we think we're really good people, and we come to church every Sunday and we punch our spiritual time clock. Surely God is pleased with me. We better check our motive. Oh, I know the message of the cross. I know the message of the cross. You know what? I hope you do. But more than I hope you know it, I hope you're living it. I hope you're walking in it. I hope that you have found freedom and you humbly share your testimony and your experience with everyone around you, because you know what they need to know. But what they don't need is your arrogance. What they don't need is your religious mindset stomping them into the ground. Give them the grace of God. Give them the grace of God. And where there is grace, there is his presence. There is his presence. Moses came to God on the basis of grace. On the basis of grace, understanding not because I deserve your presence, Lord, not because I've done anything to earn your presence, but simply because you said that you know my name and you made me a promise, and I'm coming to you and I'm pleading with you, Lord, that even with this sin that these people have committed, I am pleading with you, God, that you would have mercy, that you would show grace. And it is on the basis of grace alone that God said, Moses, I'll do it. Moses, I'll do it. And you know what Moses did? Like a little child, he said, Lord, are you sure you're going to be there? He turned around and said, Lord, I know you said it, and then you said it again, but Lord, really, if you're not there, I don't want to go. It reminds me of this childlike mindset. I have a 3-year-old, and we'll be walking around, he thinks he's Mr. Independent. He knows how to do everything. He's not afraid of anything. At least he tries to act that way. But every now and then we'll be walking. We have this trail behind our house, and we go for walks all the time. And he'll get a little bit ahead of me. But after a couple minutes of him realizing I'm not right there, he turns around and says, Mommy, are you coming? Mommy, are you there? Mommy, are you there? And I'll say, yes, baby, I'm right here. And we keep walking and we keep walking. He knows I've never left him before. But still, we go a little further, and he turns around and says, Mommy, are you there? Yes, baby, I'm here. I'm coming. I'm right behind you. Over and over again, the whole trip, the whole walk. Mommy, are you there? Mr. Independent. But Mommy, are you there? And this is the mindset that we need to have. This is the mindset that Moses had. I know God has never failed you, but every now and then we just have to turn around and say, God,
are you here with me?
Are you there? Are you there? Like a child who's dependent on their father. Are you there? I know you've never failed me. I know that you've never done anything wrong and your ways are perfect, but I just have to ask one more time, are you there? Are you with me? And you know what he's going to say every time? I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm with you. I think that might be the greatest thing that God ever said in his word. I am with you. I am with you. When you go through the waters, I will be with you. When you go through the flood, don't be afraid. I'll be with you. Desperate for his presence. We've got to have his presence. We've got to have a real relationship with him. Not based on anything that I can do. I can't earn that. But by grace. By grace, if we approach him on the basis of grace. Lord, I know I don't deserve it. And then your children, Lord, the children of Israel, I know what they did. I know. But I'm asking you based on your promises and on the basis of grace, would you please give us your presence? Give us your presence. We need your presence. We've got to have it. We're lost without it. We're lost without it. You can't do anything without the presence of God. As a believer, as a minister, whatever position you hold, without his presence, I'm sorry, but we are worth nothing. Nothing. I don't care how well you can speak, how well you can sing. We are nothing without the presence of God. We're desperate, and we have to realize we're desperate. Desperation isn't something that you become, it's something that you are, that you realize you are. We are always desperate. There should never be a point in our life and in our walk with Christ that we aren't desperate or we don't see ourselves as desperate. When you feel that you're not desperate, you might want to do a self-check. When you feel that everything's okay, I'm not saying you aren't going to have really good days. There's going to be some mountaintop experiences, and I thank God for those days and those experiences. But even on the mountaintop, who I am in and of myself is desperate. Desperate to have the presence of God. And Moses would ask this question, how would it even be known without your presence, Lord, that we're your children? What would separate us from everyone else on the face of the earth? Can I tell you something tonight? If the world sees you and they can't tell that you know Jesus Christ, if the world sees you and there's not a difference, there is one thing that separates us from the world, and that is the presence of God. The presence of God that dwells in us, that goes with us, that changes us. Have you ever been around someone not saved and they say, I don't know what it is about you. I just sense something. There's something different there. You're happy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You have joy. You have peace. You're so at peace.